Hello everyone, good to have you here. So this video is gonna be a sequel to the Designing Explosions with Serial video I did a few weeks ago. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out because it's really cool. So what I decided to do for this video was to gather other sounds from those 30 sources and try to design the blinking ability from Tracer from Overwatch, this video right here. And the sounds that I chose for this were the microwave, the traffic light buzzing, the spring, and the vacuum cleaner. Now, what I wanted to do for this video was to challenge myself not to run the sounds through a sampler, but just use some plugins and layering to try to come up with something cool. So for the microwave, all that I did was apply an EQ to cut off a little bit of the nasal frequencies and boost the highs just to accentuate the attack. Now for the spring, I didn't do anything to the sound itself, but I created a new track and duplicated the files twice, then I reversed them, time stretched them a little bit, and ran both of them through GRM warp to warp the frequencies a little bit and give them a different tonality, and then I applied the built-in Pro Tools plugin Sci-Fi to give the sounds a more futuristic tonality. And what they're doing specifically is emphasizing whenever she goes up and down, but more specifically whenever she goes down to follow the trace as she goes down. Next was the traffic light. Now because the sound already has this texture of a futuristic gun, it was the perfect sound to emphasize whenever she stops in the air and starts to fall as well. So the first layer was a very sharp and high-pitched sound, and I ran it through GRM Warp again and the Sci-Fi plugin. It was great. As for the second layer, I just put a limiter to make it louder, followed by Waves H delay, just because I love that plugin, followed by GRM pitch accumulator, just to change the texture a little bit. Now for the vacuum cleaner, I thought it was too empty. It was just a whoosh, it wasn't adding anything special to the sound. But what I wanted to do was to create this stutter effect with that more harsh, windy sound. So what I did was I applied a limiter just to make it louder, and then ran it through an EQ just to cut off a little bit of the high end, not to be too aggressive. And then I ran it through Waves Mondo Mod to give the impression that it's going like do-do-do-do-do-do-do, something like this. And finally, I just needed a low-end layer to accentuate the attack. So what I did was create a square wave out of the signal generator plugin in Pro Tools, applied some harmonic distortion, accentuated the low end. Just a reminder though, you're gonna hear it much better with good speakers or headphones. And this is how the final result sounds like without and with all of the processing and volume automation. And that's pretty much it. What I'm trying to do with these videos is to help you realize that you don't need the highest and fanciest equipment in the market to do something cool. You could just grab your phone or your pocket recorder and record your home and try to design something like this. You can do it. I know that you can do it. And just be creative, try to break it through the myth that you cannot achieve something great by being limited to your budget. That is just not true. You're only limited by your creativity. But anyways, that is pretty much it for me. I hope that you enjoyed the video. And as always, I wish you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya!